This video is sponsored by Renaissance Bank, the best bank in the South. Check them out at renaissancernation.com. Hey, what's up? I'm Matt Wyatt. This is Mississippi State versus Southern Miss, 38-15, the final, State winning it. I felt like the most important stretch of the game was the first quarter, first 20 minutes of the ball game when State built that 21-0 lead going into halftime. And certainly that first quarter when State jumped up 14-zip. So this is just first half highlights in the game. Again, I felt like that was the most important part of the game, building the momentum for State. It took control, and that was it. And so defense and offense, I'm going to start you off on defense because I thought State getting off the field early on third down was the key to getting the ball back quickly to an offense that was really just red hot to start the ball game with Tommy Stevens. State's defense was at their best on the day on third downs. This is an early 3rd and 6, pressure up the middle. They force them to unload it into coverage. And it's the reason they were good on third downs, they brought a lot of different looks on third down. This is actually a dime package. Check it out. 3 down linemen and only 2 linebackers in the game. So you have a safety back here off screen, Landrews. You got Morgan, who's another deep safety. You also have a third in Brian Cole, and Smitherman is lined up in there as a safety. He's a corner as well. So you actually have 4 safeties in a dime package and 2 corners. So this is 6 defensive backs on this package right here. And I think what's happening is, number one, you're bringing middle linebacker Leo Lewis. Quarterback sees it, feels it. He's got to depend on the running back to step up and catch that block. The other thing is, with that, he knows he's got a crosser coming and can sense the middle of the field is open. What I think happens is the pressure coming at him here forces him to focus on that. He's just going to look for this crosser thinking I've got a first down, but never sees or feels right here Errol Thompson dropping back into coverage. So the back gets beat. He's about to get hit and knows it. His eyes are right here on the route. I don't think he ever actually sees the other linebacker who's dropped, and he gets his guy hit. See it from behind. That's the pressure from the middle linebacker right there. You can see his eyes are straight ahead. Again, I think what he senses that he's getting himself time to complete this ball in the middle. And again, I don't think he ever sees or feels that defender who's waiting on it backside. Flip it over on offense now. First drive, 2nd and 7. They throw an out route for a first down. Good protection. The back helps and complete it. One thing, we can't, with TV copy, see what the combo route is back to this side of the field. If you did have an out route here, you could see why he would choose the other side, is because the corner has outside leverage here on the receiver to his right, and into the left sideline, the corner is inside. So just his eyes right away. He's got a 3-4 defense, 3 down, 4 underneath, and safety's in the middle, and he can tell that he may get a one-on-one out there, so he makes the right pre-snap read. Protection has to hold up. What you like right here is it does. Kylan Hill helping out on the protection, and then a strong throw on time, first down. Later on the drive, 2nd and 3, they're going to hit that skinny post for a touchdown to the tight end side. Eyes in the middle, read the safety over his head, go up and make a play. So if we go back and kind of look at the route, you see what they're going to get. Tight end's going to release here, and he's in the middle of the field between those hashes. And then your vertical or skinny here. Backside is a hitch into the boundary and corner on top, so smash concept. And what he's reading it against is 4-man front, 2 linebackers essentially, and they're playing it like nickel, like with a guy removed. So if you look at the safeties pre-snap, into the boundary, ball's nearer to the left hash, safety's off the hash and a little deeper. But to the side where you're going to get deep verticals, safety is a little up. He's up only, less than 10 yards off the ball. So the pre-snap probably tells him he got a chance to get a guy behind him on that side. Then on the snap, safety sits. So it's all about, if I can win against the corner, the safety's going to be out of this. And very little chance with that alignment of this safety on this other hash to get all the way over there to this throw. Now, it's still got to be a good throw, because right here, if the ball is drilled or underthrown, they'll have a chance to make a play. Or obviously, you could overthrow it. It's good ball placement, and you got a big-time size advantage in receiver. Back to the defense. They get a stop here. Speed sweep out of a 2 tight end look for Southern Miss. They try to go to the weak side, and State runs it down. And I like this because this is early in the game against the look and a kind of play that hurt them the week before against Louisiana. State goes 4-man front, 2 linebackers in the game. This is nickel because if you look at personnel, they've lined up with Brian Cole as safety here. This is C.J. Morgan, who's going to be your underneath defender there, and he's a safety. So with the formation, this is actually a cover 3, a third deep, a third in the middle, and the backside corner has that third deep over there. So that's really what this is. And when he motions, they're in double tight end with an H, and so he's actually kind of got to go around him to go get the handoff, got to reroute. But what they're trying to do is unblock the end and lead out there with the tackle and the edge defender. So trying to go formation here, speed sweep back over here to catch you out of place. But State defends it really well because they were honest. And their responsibility football. Tyler Williams, a corner, goes out. That's Chauncey Rivers, who forces him wide. And Morgan, the safety, going to run it down from the inside. So everybody doing their job, and you get there and make the play. Back in the offense, second scoring drive, they got a quick slant at the top off of what looks like RPO, and he zips it in there. Really nice play and throw. And here's where, I'd love to know the call, but it looks like RPO to me, meaning there's a run built in there because tight end and everybody else are blocking back down, and they're pulling around here with the right guard, Reese, and it looks like run play. And what they've done is given him 2 safeties, 2 high safeties to make it look like cover 2. But on the snap, they are actually bringing the safety down in here and rotating back to cover 3. With that safety going to the middle, the left hash safety coming down, and these would play deep third corners. So they're trying to rotate it out of a 4-3 look. So watch what the quarterback does. So a couple things. This looks like run blocking to me, pulling with the guard. And you've got blocking going on here with a safety valve screen built in on this side, and he's running slant on what is play side. But if you look, quarterback has his eyes here on the next level. Okay, there really is no in-man line of scrimmage that he's reading right here, and I can't help but think, are his eyes on this safety, and does he see him flying down here on this rotation in this RPO call? Because if he does, it's a really quick, good read. Now you have the mesh point. His eyes are here, and he can see the safety coming down. He decides to pull it, and it's an absolute strike against that slant with the safety out of there. When you see it behind, again, you try to follow the quarterback's eyes, and it's not always easy, and we're not in the huddle. We don't know what the call is. It could be just straight play action. All I know is this is the safety who lined up back here on the deep other hash, and it's rotating down, and he's the one that has vacated this area because he thought he saw a run, and now the throw is right behind him to a wide open slant. Zone run play could be counter, but may just be straight zone that goes out the backside. Break a tackle or a couple poor tackle attempts, and then jump a guy at the 30. Big run. So you go back and look, blocking up front is the key to this, but design is as well. You notice they've motioned a guy out here, and because of that, it widens a defender on what is going to be the play side, and you ultimately just get a handful of guys in the box. So you have numbers, first of all, with a tight end in the game who's blocking down on the linebacker, and you get a block down on the tackle really easily. So that's what we're talking about there. Leverage, blocking down. You get them to the edge really easily because of tackle and tight end. Any defensive coach is going to tell you, we got 4 guys right here, got him hemmed up. Somebody's got to make this tackle. It is a poor job of tackling. One misses low, and the other, you can't just bump a guy like this. He's going to run off of it and make a play every time. And Kylan Hill is having a great year so far. He really is probably one of the more underappreciated, underrated talents in the entire country, and certainly in the SEC. What you saw early on State's offense was tremendous balance. Kylan Hill was doing his thing. He was incredible. He draws so much attention, and rightfully so. Tommy Stevens can make all the throws. He put that on display in the first half. And a bunch of different guys caught footballs from him. He was 9 of 10 in the game, and I think completed the ball to like 6 different receivers himself. And here's a red zone completion and touchdown against what looks like 2 safeties, but one comes down, and just a strike in the end zone. And if you look at this, it's a little hard to figure out what they're trying to do from a coverage standpoint, but I think a lot of it is 8. Kylan Hill has been hurting them so much with the run. They're really keyed on that down here on 2nd and 6. State lined up with tight ends in the game, 2-by-2, but with tight ends close. And it put some defenders here near the line of scrimmage. So one safety on this side's walked up, one's back and off the hash. And so I think that's what dictates the pre-snap read. He's thinking, I'm going to go over here off this safety. Reason we talked about coverage, it's inside release here. Safety's coming up. The other safety's on top of the other with a corner coming in, so there's just nobody left to cover in the middle of the field. Everybody thinking that Kylan Hill is going to get this football, and it opens up the middle of the field. Really good throw. And sometimes I like seeing this because it's a good idea of, what a quarterback's looking through to see things on the field level. Down there on the field, he's actually keeping it away from a defender who is eye level with him underneath between he and his receiver, and getting it over the head of the umpire as well. Thought we'd look at this one. This is one where Southern Miss was able to get a completion against the defense. I guess a 4-man rush. One end gets chopped down. It left room to throw, and he fits it in there in the middle of the defense. And so how do you give up a play like that? Well, first of all, it's a good play by their offense. And if you look, it's unusual. You've got a tight end here and 3 receivers. So effectively 4 receivers to the wide side of the field. But the tight end's not going to go out. They're going to get a back out in the backside. State went with 4-2 nickel. That's actually a safety who's walked down right there. And right here, so first of all, what's going to be in his face to the field, the tight end, instead of releasing on a route, and the end is expecting him to get an inside release. Chauncey Rivers thinks that's what is happening, but instead they chop him on his knee right there and kind of knock him off his pass rush, and he wasn't expecting that. So when that happens, it slows him up here on the play side and kind of sets his protection where he can sit in there comfortably and kind of move to his right. And that's really what it's all about, is because now you're going to get a receiver finding an open space behind the linebacker. State had 2 high safeties and they split right here, leaving the middle of the field open. And Thompson did a nice job to drop, but as soon as he saw the quarterback with a chance to escape, he starts to then move back the other way, which kind of opens up that throwing lane right here for the quarterback. So it's really a nice throw, but all about pass protection. But again, after all that, another 3rd down play. They had back-to-back sacks on 3rd down and 2nd down, the previous play. This is Marquise Spencer lined up in the boundary here. He just throws a tackle out of the way, gets there, knocks the football out, and State recovers. So they come up with a turnover on 3rd down. Watch him again right here against the offensive tackle. Left arm in, get him off his balance on his left leg, go back inside and strip. Really nice play. New quarterback in the game, that is Garrett Schrader. After Tommy Stevens had to leave, they go zone read. Might have actually missed the read here, but at least he doesn't stop on it. Gets in the way, and Kylan Hill reels off another big run after what should have been a tackle. He just is doing this a lot this year. He's really ready to go. So back to the play. Everything's going to get blocked back this way, and you're unblocking the defensive end, and that's who I'm assuming you're supposed to read. If this is a read for the quarterback and not a straight give, which it could be, we don't know the call, but if it's a read, then he should keep right here because this in-man line of scrimmage is flying down inside. You can see what I mean. He's totally keyed on the back. So if it's a read, quarterback should pull and see what he can do with the football on the pull. But instead he gives just a phenomenal sidestep, jump step here to avoid the tackle in the backfield by Kylan Hill. Quarterback's in a position now to get in the way, and he does. Not a great block, but you're in the way. Help spring him, and you're inside the 30. Aren't many guys who are going to do this. There aren't many. Great move, quarterback in the way. Awareness, get airborne, and then we got one of these down in front deals going on right here. Nick Gibson, untouched up to shoot for a touchdown, makes it 21-0. We'll come back and see how it happened. This is really all about the movement of the defensive front. First of all, they line up with a nose guard and a three-man front, head up the center. And he actually is slanting or trying to go gap, left side, but I think he goes a little too far. And on the snap, play side linebacker comes to his right. So all the blocking's coming his way. It's easy leverage in terms of play side. You can see now the nose guard has jumped that gap and is 2 gaps over now. And so the right guard, all he's got to do is turn back, push him out of the way. Linebacker here blocked, nose guard here blocked, and it's just opened up an alleyway where there's nobody in the middle. And so it's all about that movement. They catch them with the right call and take advantage of a mistake. Didn't have gap responsibility, and it's 21-0. All right. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, if you have a comment or opinion, question, anything like that, hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Radio Wyatt, at Radio Wyatt. And then on Facebook, send me a message. Feel free. Facebook.com/Radio Wyatt. And here on YouTube, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Click that bell so you'll get a notification when new videos are posted. And thanks to everybody who has subscribed. We hit 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel here in the last week, and it was one of those goals, and really appreciate you helping me get there very, very much. And also, thanks to Renaissance Bank for always sponsoring these videos. The best bank in the South, hands down. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.